Opening question.
Imagine walking through the streets of a noisy city, cars rushing by, voices echoing, screens flashing. Everything pulls at your attention, yet inside, a question rises, louder than all the noise. What is all this for? Why do we work? Why do we fight? Why do we dream when life itself is fleeting? The Stoics, philosophers of antiquity, asked the same question. For them, life was not an endless chase after wealth or fame, but a school of calmness, an invitation to live in harmony with nature and one's own mind. Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, none of them sought meaning in external things, but in an inner stance. And perhaps today, in a world of distraction and speed, it is more urgent than ever to hear these ancient voices anew. For maybe the meaning of life lies not in having more, but in being clearer.
Poetic reflection. There are moments when life feels like a river, sometimes calm and reflective, sometimes wild and unrestrained, and we stand on its banks, trying to understand where it comes from, where it flows. At times, I feel like nothing more than a leaf carried helplessly by the current. Plans, expectations, worries, they push me forward without pause. But then, in rare moments, I manage to become still. A breath, a glance at the sky, and I sense, perhaps I am not only the leaf. Perhaps I am also the tree, with roots reaching deep, yet flexible in the wind. The Stoics reminded us, we are not victims of the waves. We are co-creators when we learn to guide our thoughts. For the meaning of life, as fleeting as it seems, is perhaps less an answer and more a posture, a way of standing that allows us to be calm even when the river roars.
Before we dive into specific Stoic teachings, it helps to remember that their philosophy is not abstract theory. It is practical guidance for everyday life. Stoicism offers a lens through which we can examine our thoughts, actions, and choices, providing a path toward clarity and resilience. By exploring these insights, we can begin to see how ancient wisdom still illuminates modern challenges.
First insight: control and calm. Epictetus once said, "Some things are in our control, others are not." This distinction forms the foundation of Stoic thought. We cannot decide whether it rains tomorrow, whether people criticize us, or whether fate tests us, but we can decide how we respond. Stoic calm does not mean accepting everything without feeling. It means focusing our energy only on what lies within our power, our thoughts, our attitude, our actions. It takes practice, but every time we ask ourselves, "Can I influence this?" and act accordingly, we win back a piece of freedom. Calmness is not retreat, but clarity. It makes us capable of action because we no longer waste ourselves fighting what cannot be changed. Second insight: virtue as the highest good. For the Stoics, meaning was not success, not fame, not pleasure. The meaning of life to them was found in virtuous action. Virtue, courage, wisdom, justice, moderation. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." A fulfilled life, then, arises when we act in harmony with our values. We may be rich, yet poor if our actions lack virtue. We may fail, yet remain rich if we live with dignity and clarity. Virtue is no rigid ideal. It is a daily practice. Each day we must ask, am I acting in a way that allows me to meet my own eyes? This is the essence of the Stoic art of living.
Third insight, memento mori, the power of finitude. Seneca once wrote, "It is not that we have too little time, but that we waste much of it." The Stoics reminded themselves daily of their mortality, not to live in fear, but to awaken. For the one who knows life is finite does not postpone the essential. Memento mori, the remembrance of death, intensifies life. It teaches us to feel gratitude for what is already here. It teaches us to act now instead of dreaming of tomorrow. And it frees us from the illusion that everything is under our control. Life is finite, and in that very limit lies its value.
Mirror of daily life. You see the seemingly perfect lives of others, success, beauty, adventure, and you ask, why not me? A Stoic would answer, the opinions of others are not in your power. Your worth does not depend on their gaze. You feel nervous before exams or job interviews, your heart races. The outcome is not entirely in your hands, but your preparation, your effort, your calmness, those are. In relationship conflicts, words wound and emotions flare. The Stoic question is, does my anger bring healing? Sometimes silence is braver than another word. In crises and loss, a plan shatters, a dream ends, a person departs. Here, memento mori can offer comfort. Nothing lasts forever. But precisely because of that, every moment is precious. And so we see, Stoic philosophy is no distant ideal. It is a tool for daily life, especially in a world of pressure and distraction.
Quiet ending.
Perhaps the meaning of life is not to arrive at a final answer. Perhaps it is to learn to live our days with awareness. The Stoics knew we cannot stop the storm, but we can learn to set our sail. And so the question remains for you. Where in your life are you fighting against things that are not in your power? And what would happen if you let go and turned your energy toward what truly lies within your hands? Perhaps then you will discover that meaning does not wait at the end of the road, but is born in the very act of walking.